Hey friends, Leslie here with Ignite Real Estate. It's been a minute since we've connected, but I wanted to talk about the elephant in the room. Okay, not literally an elephant in the room, but the elephant in the room that everyone's talking about in the housing market, and that's the fact that the Fed's rate hikes just went up 0.75%. What does that mean? It means a lot to a lot of people in a lot of different ways. First thing we don't want to do is panic because, of course, we make poor decisions, unfortunately, through fear, emotions, and not with facts. So don't panic. Is the sky falling? In theory, is the market going to crash? Granted, nobody has a crystal ball, and clearly mine is broken. However, I try to be a student of real estate and constantly learn and study what is happening in this market, especially to service our clients. So the market crash, let's just talk about that for a second. The average home buyer, homeowner, during the market crash, their interest rates were over 6% on average. So, and if you had a pulse, you were getting a loan. Fast forward to now, we are seeing interest rates in the 6, but a majority of homeowners right now have interest rates in the high 2s, in the 3s, and some in the low 4s. So they're already making a payment with a very low interest rate. They have a significant amount of equity, and the criteria for them to get that loan was significantly much more stringent than in the past. So the probability that those homeowners are going to just relinquish their assets of their home right now is probably not going to happen. Investors, are there going to be a massive dump of investment properties? I don't think so either. And here's why. Because we have unfortunately lost a lot of our first-time home buyers who have been renting, and now they really have to rent because the market is not working in their favor. So investors are definitely not going to relinquish those rental properties because they have an increased surge of tenants that need to stay or are looking to stay. So that's actually probably going to cause rental prices to go up. Again, supply demand situation. So, and the thing with renting is you have zero control of interest rate because your monthly payment could fluctuate very easily based upon your landlord. So I hope that kind of answers a little bit of the dynamics that are different. What we are projecting, again, projections don't factually put me to stone on this, is that by the end of the year, we are probably going to be seeing interest rates in the 8s, maybe more, maybe less. I know when my husband and I bought our first home and back in 95, which seems like back in the Stone Age, we did what was called a 2-1 buy down. Our interest rate was 9%. So they are projecting that. So if you're considering buying a house now, I know it's not the 2s and the 3s and the 4s that we had before, but 6%, maybe in the 5s, if you might have some points involved here. Get on the bandwagon as soon as you can because the future looks grim. And say, for example, what you have the power of is refinancing. So let's just say hypothetically, you get into an interest rate now at 6% instead of an 8 or maybe a 9, who knows, by the end of the year. Next year, they're saying, well, maybe we're going to have a projection of a drop. As we all know, what goes up does come down. Well, let's just say hypothetically, it drops 1.25, 1.5. It's better to start from a 6% drop at 1.5. Now you're back to a 4.5% versus going and waiting until the end of the year and going to 8% and dropping 1.5 point from there, and you're back in the 6s. So just, again, educate yourself with the facts. And then they are saying that, again, supply and demand. We have shortages of, formulas. There's still a supply chain issue. There's people, still not working. So new houses are not being as built fast enough for the demand that we still have for people that are buying. So we're not expecting home prices to drop. The reason why we're seeing home prices drop right now anyways is because unfortunately some of them were mispriced to begin with. It's just being very factual. The market of last year, post-COVID, during COVID, is not the market of today. So pricing your home to sell is even more so important. So that's why you're seeing a lot of home prices drop because unfortunately the expectation was set too high and it didn't coincide with today's buyer's market. Homes are sitting on the market a little bit more because there's more inventory, there's more to consider. And if you think about it, prior to COVID, it's actually a little bit more normalized market. So even if we price correct or have a slowdown in the market, let's say next year, because people are still adjusting to interest rates, and they're saying maybe 10 to 15% adjustment, it's still not the crash that everyone keeps talking about. So be educated, talk to your real estate agent, work with professionals. It is even more so critical to speak and have great dialogue with your lender that you're working with. If you need a great lender, please let us know. We are here to help you. But again, don't be scared. Don't wish and hope for things that you don't know the facts that may or may not exist. Again, these are all projections that I'm sharing, but I just want you to be aware that this projection of crash is probably not going to happen because the owners of today are in a very different financial position with low interest rates and a lot of equity, and they were very much scrutinized based upon their credit scores then, much different than before. And interest rates are going to continue to go up. So don't wait on the fence too long, because if you're waiting for the market to crash, you're probably just going to hurt yourself in making smart and wise decisions. And at the end of the day, it's always better to make more money towards your principal payment versus paying towards the bank. So if you need any help, if you have any questions about the real estate market from a buying or listing perspective, think Team Ignite. We are here to help and serve you. Have a wonderful day. Take care.